Very hard for us to work cases, and it's especially hard when it's a child.
A 22-month-old girl found unresponsive in a bathtub has led to a death investigation in Mercer County.
We've pulled the records, and we're talking with the strip club's neighbors about the frequency of call-outs to the location of Lexington's latest homicide.
Every now and then I say, God, why me?
He has devoted much of his life to serving others as a volunteer firefighter. Now a Southern Kentucky man is in need of help himself.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. A tragic story in Mercer County. Tonight, deputies are trying to figure out what led up to the death of a toddler.
Deputies are telling us that the 22-month-old was found unresponsive at a home on Bohan Road near Harrodsburg. They say the toddler was found in the bathtub by her grandmother. Victor Puente is tracking the investigation in our top story at 6.
Deputies tell me that toddler was found in the bathtub by her grandmother. The investigation into her death is just beginning. Sheriff Ernie Kelty says the 22-month-old was in the home with another child and an adult male. They aren't releasing much more information about the case, saying at this point it's a death investigation.
We will review the facts and try to determine exactly what the cause of death was.
The call to 911 reporting a drowning came in at 11:37 yesterday morning. A neighbor tells me she heard screaming and came outside to see the family performing CPR on the toddler on the front porch. Paramedics took over and rushed her to a local hospital, but she didn't survive.
Very hard for us to work cases. It's hard for anybody when you have a death of any type. It's hard on anyone, and it's especially hard when it's a child.
The sheriff said the Department of Community-Based Services is also involved in this investigation, which is normal whenever they investigate a child's death. Her family told us they didn't want to talk about what happened yesterday.
I mean, you can only imagine. I myself have gone through that with losing a child, and our prayers and everything's with them, and I'm sure they want all the facts also.
A captain with the Sheriff's Department tells me it could be a few weeks before they get the results back from an autopsy that was performed this morning. In Mercer County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The Sheriff's Department says they are not releasing the child's name while they are still investigating.
It is the city's 5th homicide of 2016. Tonight, Lexington police are trying to figure out what led up to the death of a 23-year-old father last night. Police say Lee Mitchell was shot outside Camelot East, a strip club on Richmond Road. We're told he showed up at St. Joseph Hospital with gunshot wounds even before police were called out to the scene. Officers have been called out to the strip club several times in the past. Kristen Kennedy takes a look at what kind of calls they've been responding to in this Crime Tracker report.
This is an address Lexington police know well. In the last 10 years, they've responded to hundreds of calls to 2606 Richmond Road. We obtained a list of every call made since 2006 to Camelot East. The calls filled 67 pages. 19 of them involved weapons, including 5 shooting incidents in the last 14 months. 6 people were shot, 2 have died. Police say early this morning someone killed 23-year-old Lee Mitchell.
I just get tired of hearing that there's been gunshots and that people are getting killed back there, or somebody got mad and had a fight and everything. Because it's just a reoccurring thing. It's happened every month since.
People working at neighboring businesses worry about those living nearby.
I'm sure that the people that live around here are nervous. I mean, there's lots of apartments over there, and it would make me nervous if I lived over there.
Earlier this month, police say someone fired shots outside Camelot East, and one of those shots hit a nearby pet care facility, Shaybell.
We're doing everything we can to, keep the pets safe. They are farther away from that area, so it's never affected any of the pets here.
Our attempts to get the owner of the club and of the building that houses it were unsuccessful. Lexington police say they're working with officers from the state and local alcoholic beverage control office in their investigation. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Lexington police say the victim of today's shooting, LaRose Mitchell, was shot outside an apartment in Lexington during a dice game in 2012. That same shooting incident killed a Henry Clay High School student. The shooter, Deontay Hayes, was sentenced to 35 years.
Don't be fooled by this weather. It is still officially February and winter.
But we are seeing some beautiful March-like weather today. On the downside, though, it's been a very windy day. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at your weekend forecast.
Yeah, holding on to the hats today and a white knuckler on the steering wheel. Boy, you had to have both hands on the wheel today. Wind blowing you around a little bit out there. But at least we had dry conditions across the entire area. Look at our live sky cams as we kick off the weekend, even here into parts of the Mountain Parkway corridor. Notice how we're seeing the grass for the first time. Still see a little snow there in the distance into far southeastern Kentucky. Most areas, though, with an increase in clouds. 62 degrees, winds right now from the southwest at 20 miles an hour in Lexington. We hit 52 miles per hour for the peak gust later this afternoon. I imagine if it was trash day outside your house today, you were coming home right now, looking for the old garbage can, maybe chasing it down the cul-de-sac or in the neighbor's yard. We look at your Defender radar network. A lot of clouds out there, some lighter rains back toward the Bowling Green area. Can't rule out a sprinkle or a very light shower as the evening wears on. But look at the temperatures. We'll stay in the 50s right on through 11 o'clock this evening. When I come back in a little less than 10 minutes, we'll focus on a mild weekend that ends with some rain, and then we'll show you how Old Man Winter tries to punch his way back toward the Bluegrass State. That ever-changing 7-day forecast in a matter of minutes.
A former Lee County Circuit clerk admits she stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from taxpayers. Emma Adams entered a guilty plea to abuse of public trust this morning. The Administrative Office of Courts says that Adams took the public's money for her own personal gain. They say she set up fake bank accounts, used fake receipts, and took money off the top every week. Adams was asked to retire, which she did last August. Today, she pled guilty to the charge, and as part of her plea, Adams handed over a check in court today.
Restitution in the amount of $334,845.44.
$156,106.47.
The rest of the restitution will be paid through a payment plan. Adams' sentencing is set for April 1st. She faces a maximum sentence of 5 years in jail. Prosecutors recommend Adams serve 90 days in jail, followed by 5 years of probation. The AOC released a statement this afternoon saying today's guilty plea by former Lee County Circuit Court Clerk Emma Adams brings justice to the citizens of Lee County and the Commonwealth.
New tonight, animal control officers in Jessamine County say a dog rescued from a home is slowly improving. Officers say they found 2 starving dogs at a home in Nicholasville yesterday. At that time, officers were worried that one of the dogs, Snicker, would never recover because he couldn't even stand. But today, Animal Care and Control posted 2 photos of Snicker saying he's eaten twice today and he's walked around the clinic a couple of times. He's even stopped growling at the staff. They believe he is going to get better physically and emotionally. The second dog, Boo, is also doing better. The dog's owner, Vicki Madden, has been charged with second-degree animal cruelty. She told us off camera she tried her best to feed the dogs but didn't know how to find help for them.
There will soon be a new person in charge of the Kentucky Department of Corrections. Today, Governor Matt Bevin appointed Rodney Ballard as the new Corrections Commissioner. Since 2012, Ballard has been in charge of the Fayette County Detention Center. Before that, he spent 4 years with the Division of Probation and Parole and the Division of Local Facilities. Ballard will replace LaDonna Thompson, who will retire March 1st. His first day will be March 14th. And we've learned tonight that the Kentucky State Police Commissioner is retiring as well. Rodney Brewer will retire on February 29th after 34 years of service. Brewer has been the commissioner for the past 8.5 years. He was appointed by former Governor Steve Beshear.
He has served his community for decades. Now he's in need of help himself.
Darren Wyatt has been fighting fires at the London Fire Department for almost 3 decades. He's now fighting a different kind of battle. It's in his health.
Wyatt needs a kidney, but because of an issue with his health care coverage, his wait could be longer than normal. New at 6, Phil Pendleton has Wyatt's story.
Every now and then I say, God, why me?
For the second time in his life, Darren Wyatt needs a new kidney.
My first renal problem started when I was 13.
His mother donated his first kidney. Decades later, he's in need of another transplant. Yet an issue with his health insurance now has him inactive on the organ donor list.
I actually didn't think I had prescription coverage after my transplant, but I found out I did.
He says he'll be back on the donor list this summer. So for now, this volunteer firefighter, who spent nearly 30 years on the force, is back to waiting.
They said most time when you're on the list, Average is anywhere from 3 to 5 years wait is an average wait just on the list, unless you can find somebody to step up and give you one.
It's probably an understatement, but Darren Wyatt has had many health issues over the years, his kidneys just being part of the problem.
And I had to go through both hip replacements.
And he's had open heart surgery. Yet he still says he loves the fact that he's been able to serve his community.
Just love doing it, love helping people. I wouldn't take nothing for some of the time and the things I've done with schools and prevention.
He says he's working with his coordinator to get the issues resolved to get back on the donor list. But he says if a healthy donor would step forward, it would change his wait from years to possibly months. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
A spokesperson with UK Healthcare said they could not comment on Wyatt's case because of patient privacy laws, but they did provide a link to the National Kidney Foundation website, which says that a person can be ruled inactive because of incomplete insurance information or a change in one's current health status. A familiar face was back to his old ways at last night's UK game after some new rules from UK athletics.
Last night was the first time the Cats played at home since superfan Darren Moscow, also known as the UK Boogeyman, took a spill with a young fan during his dancing routine. The university has since banned dancing on the stairs and aisles at basketball games. So last night at Rupp, when Money Money played, Darren started dancing to a standing ovation from the crowd, but he was following the new rules. He was dancing at his seat.
Oh, I was going to dance anyway, no matter what. Because I ain't going to let nobody give me fear or anything. I'm going to dance the rest of my life at Rupp Arena.
Moscow says his goal is to one day have season tickets to the men's basketball games.
New tonight, a new shopping center under construction in Lexington is getting some more tenants, and there's still a year from even opening. According to our partners at the Herald Leader, Koss Bar will be moving into the Summit at Fritz Farm. The shopping center will be at the corner of Nicholasville Road and Man o' War. Koss Bar is a luxury cosmetics store, and their Lexington location will be the first in Kentucky. The shopping center will begin opening at the open at the end of March of 2017. And Lexington's newest public library branch will open its doors next month. The East Side branch at the corner of Palumbo Drive and Man o' War will open at 10 a.m. on March 15th. That branch will replace the Eagle Creek branch, which is off of Richmond Road. Eagle Creek will close at 6 p.m. next Friday. The East Side branch will be the Lexington Public Library's largest branch library.